So just to reiterate here, the important part of this list here, right, our mask. This is our mask of selecting a particular vector. Because what we have is a list of vectors. We have for every panel 4 vectors. But if I want the position of each of the panels to move in a seemingly, or it could be in a particular logic, or it could be in a random way, whatever you're designing for. But if I want these panels to move in a different spot for every panel, I need to pick which vector of the 4 vectors that are associated with that panel that I'm going to use. Does that make sense? So on the first panel, it might pick the vector that's going to the bottom left. Or in this case, it's going to the top left. And then on the next panel, it's moving it in the direction of the top right. And this one's going back to the top left. But then this one's going to the bottom right. Does that make sense? So in each of those cases, it picked one vector out of the list of 4. So that's what this is doing. This is a mask that's going to pick using list item. This is our list item index. A list item index doesn't have to be just one number. It can be many. So this list can be plugged in directly into list item. And I can then, under display, and this is just, you don't have to do this right now, I'm just showing you. You can plug the vector in, and then you can just use the centroid again, I guess. Oh, it took them all again. Hang on, why? Oh, this needs to be flattened, I think. Actually, no, it doesn't. Why doesn't it? Am I pulling the wrong thing? Oh, maybe that won't work. But anyway, the overall, let's see. 36 vectors. Why am I getting 36 vectors? Oh. These, that should be flattened. Oh, you know what? Hang on. This, oh, sorry. I see what I was doing wrong. So because this particular list it comes out in a group of 4, then we need to take all of these items, and we need to make sure that they're associated to each of those respective sublists. So this is what's happening. With the params here, oh, you know what? Don't worry about that. So each of these comes out in an index value, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. These need to be grafted so that it's reading as one item. Index item 0 gets assigned to the first list item. And then when we display it, the vector goes here, the centroid here, and you'll see that they're all going in different directions. Okay, sorry, that confused even me. So let me walk through it with you again. It looks really crazy, but I'm going to kind of jump back to where we began. Center point was found here, and this is where we created vectors. So we have a center point, and we have vectors. We measured how many of the panels there are, and then we took the vectors and we're isolating them based on a new masked list. So we had to graft that list into sublists that would associate directly with how many items are being plugged in to be tested against. So if there are 36 packs of 4 vectors, that's what we have here, 36 packs of 4 vectors. We need to have 36 packs of 1 index. That was the key. 36 packs of one index in order to mask it going out. Okay? So, in order to finish this off and clean it up, this is what I'm going to do. The jitter is going to give us a degree of variability so that they're not all kind of just going around in a clockwise motion as you move across the panels. Jitter is going to go before the flattening. So let me turn, before the grafting. I'll turn that off real fast and I'm going to disconnect this. Okay, so this list gets plugged into jitter, and then it just has two things. It has a jitter strength from 0 to 1 at a decimal value, and then it has a seed where it kind of just changes it all up again. You can put two sliders on it. Let me get rid of this for a second. And I'm going to do 0 less than 1.00. Copy and paste. The second one for seed should be like 0 to 100. It could be real numbers. Or integers, I should say. So now, rather than 0, 1, 2, 3, if the jitter strength is 0, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. But as we move it forward, you see that those numbers are changing slightly. Now it's 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 0, 3. And you just keep going, and it'll get more and more shuffled. Theoretically, though, you don't really need to shuffle it any more than a couple of percentage points. But that's really kind of it for that. So moving this forward and out now, this V output, the values list, that's our new list of shuffled values. So that is going to have to be grafted. Graft that out. And it's going to look like that. 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 1, so on and so forth. And that gets plugged into your list item, which is going to pick your individual vectors. So, before I override the connection into amplify and move, what questions do you have? None? All right, I hear you furiously clicking away. So I'm going to give you time to get caught up on that, and then we will proceed. So let me get rid of these panels here and clean it up for you. You need to keep this one, and yeah.